He gets in there, pass across, smashed back down by Pietrangelo. Both Brown and Carter led the club with 8
I first started hockey when I was 5 years old, and now I've been playing for 9 years. I came for my first ice skating session here and then got scouted by a coach to come and try out ice hockey. I fell in love with the sport since then. I've got lots of good memories here. I remember putting my kit on for the first time and stepping onto the ice, and I cried because it was too overwhelming. But compared to me now, I love the feeling of stepping on the ice with kit on. I also remember playing my first game, finally feeling part of a team and being able to see my family off in the distance cheering me on, built me up with pride. I got captain and was leading the team.
As you can see, I used to pull all of the ladies.
Isn't that when you
back in the day.
first started?
Yeah.
That kid would always get captain and assistant because his dad was the coach. What a... I know I can't swear, but God, he got assistant or captain. They got assistant every year. It was so aggravating.
Is that like one of your first photos?
Yeah, Dad was like, do your game face. So I was like, Simon offered my idol, my G. That's why I'm number 23.
There was a point in my career where I was struggling with my teammates being at the same level as me at playing the game. So I just needed to be surrounded with better players, but I was struggling because my dad didn't want me to move to a different club because of all of the friends and stuff like that we gained at Sutton. In the end, I told him that if he didn't let me, I would quit ice hockey, and he didn't want to see me like that and didn't realise that I was so passionate about moving. So he let me move club, and then he said it's the best thing that I've ever done.
Well, regarding moving clubs, it's true to say that Ollie he played for Sutton Sting at the time, which was not one of the best clubs, but it soon became clear that Ollie was the star player of the team. But they quickly became to rely on that, and basically it was Ollie doing all the work. It was obviously outstanding, all the coaches could see it, everybody. I think Ollie felt pressured by that, and then having made the Midlands Conference team, he met a lot of friends from other clubs that were doing a lot better and decided that he wanted to move. Now at the time, I wasn't overly happy about that because the setup he had at Sutton Sting was brilliant. The friends, the camaraderie, the parents, everything was just great. And Ollie did say to me that if he wasn't allowed to move, that he would quit. There was never a question. He was going to move, so he ended up moving to Nottingham, and to be honest, it's probably the best thing he's ever done. In the Sheffield team he plays for now, there are 9 England players, so he's up with that level of players at the same ability as him now, but he's still shining out because he's been invited for trials for GB. Definitely the right decision by the young athlete.
It helps because of the energy boosting and the loudness, being able to communicate with my team and expressing myself without worrying what other people think and just being honest with my teammates. But it's also had a bad effect with anger, like when referees give bad calls I get very angry, and when other players do stuff it makes me angry, and I've got into fights and kicked out of games and stuff, which isn't very good, and I've been told off for them, and I had no chance of getting into England and stuff because of how many penalty minutes I had, but I still pushed through and managed to get in.
Ollie was diagnosed with ADHD at a young age. I think it was 4, so slightly before he started playing hockey. We went for a fun skate and some coaches saw him skating around, asked him if he wanted to have a go at hockey, which he was elated about, and we as a family were too, but we didn't know about how the ADHD had impacted him, whether it had hindered him or not. Turns out the exact opposite. He's absolutely spurred on, the discipline and everything on ice helps him channel his energies. There couldn't be a more perfect sport for it. I say it spurred him on and helped him. It lets him release that energy It's a very high impact, fast sport, which suits him down to the ground. He's super fit. Yeah, so it's not held him back at all, although we were worried initially. It's actually helped him.
Being selected for GB was one of the most emotional things in my hockey career. It was very overwhelming to think that I was one of the only players in my country to be selected for my age group. Was crazy, because it just shows that hard work and effort develops into something bigger.
Elated, I'd say. I mean, England came first because GB is above England, but he's made the England ice hockey team for the last 2 years running, which is the most he can do at 13s and 14s. He's made the Midlands Conference team every year since under 11s, which again is the most he can do. So is at such a high level, and then to find out the latter part of last year that he'd been invited for GB was just like, wow. Like I say, there's 9 England players in that Sheffield team that he plays for, and he was the only one selected, and as far as we're aware, the only one from the Midlands Conference team. It's just, he's on the elite pathway.